Hey,
Hey,
what's
what's
up?
up?
Did you hear, actually, did you hear about that mushroom that eats birds?
No, really?
No.
I love lying, which is a problem in my personal life. As much as I like to lie, I like fungus much, much more. So when I made this channel, I knew I had to do it right. But what qualifies me to talk about this subject? I like to think I'm telling the truth, but to you, I'm just a random stranger on the internet, albeit a very handsome one. But I'm so much more. I'm wanted in 12 states. This will be a quick video. Why you can trust me, what this channel's aiming to do, a few of the people that make it possible, and you'll want to stick around to the end. I have bloopers, as well as a roadmap of the next few videos. No logo this time, we'll get right into it. So why trust me? Well, part of it is my credentials. I got interested in fungus in high school. Not the most convincing, but it ramps up. In my freshman year of high school, I got hooked on fungus. It was initially for greedy reasons. I foolishly thought I could grow morels and truffles, but by the time that had failed, I had already learned about a bunch of fungal topics, culminating in mycorrhizae. The reason why my attempt failed wasn't that I messed up per se. Nobody knows the deal with mycorrhizal fungus. They're on virtually all terrestrial plants, but nobody knows all the mechanisms behind the symbiosis, nor how to cultivate them with regular success, barring truffle farmers who are either very lucky or very good at keeping that info off of Google. I got into foraging, attempting to grow my own mushrooms as well, but this idea of mycorrhiza lingered with me. They're everywhere, and they connect all the forests. They make the wood wide web. Yeah, that's not true. In my freshman year of college, I was quickly made aware that the general consensus on mycorrhizal fungus was wrong. So they don't help plants? No, that's the one thing we definitely know. They do some crazy shit for plants. Nutrients, defense, stress, there's just no wood wide web, and also we don't know how to cultivate them. We know even less than I thought we knew, and at that point, I knew I wanted to study fungi. But not just that. I wanted to get a breadth of experience, so alongside working at a lab, I got a job at a mushroom farm. A bit of a step up from my previous endeavors. About 1,000 pounds a week more of a step. I graduate with degrees in biochemistry and microbiology, while I continue to do other fungal stuff in the background. Fermenting, foraging, growing, the like. Directly after graduating, I started a master's degree studying mycorrhizal fungi, which brings us to now. Some casual experience in all the various fungal topics, professional experience in 2 domains of fungus, lab and farm, and now graduate experience studying fungus. But any Tom, Dick, and Harry can start a master's degree. Okay, realistically not, but people with degrees lie all the time. One of the most important parts of science is transparency, being open and honest about your results and how you got those results to allow for verification and replicability. This is how my process for making these videos goes. I start with an idea, say lichen. Then I go to more general sources, Google, YouTube, Wikipedia, to get an idea of what interests people about the topic and what's already freely available on the internet. I read over this more basic information to see what interesting tidbits come up. How did we figure out lichens were 2 things? What are the yeasts doing? What is an epicortex? What's the deal with airline? I find information on these sub-questions by searching for academic articles on Google Scholar or on my school's equivalent research paper finder thingy. Trademarked. In these more general videos, I also like to consult an expert. In this case, it was Dr. LaGreca, who adds credibility by virtue of being an expert, but also got an early copy of the video to make sure the facts are all a-okay. I also preemptively refute any citation andies by citing my sources, both on screen and in the description of every video. This is for you to, of course, verify the claims I'm making if you so wish, but also to look into the papers more if that sort of thing interests you. This is less the case with more persuasive sections. For instance, in my fungal herbarium video, me arguing that herbaria are important isn't a fact per se, but I do cite, herbarium uses in research or other more important, knowledgeable people talking about the topic and supporting. Yeah, they're important. I don't want my videos to be boring readings of research papers, so I also find opinion pieces or articles about history or culture, where hopefully it makes it more interesting, but also potentially connect the topic to you. I take all that, I write a script, add my classic touch of Clancy humor. What if the mushroom had a bikini on? Then edit, then hopefully you see the video on YouTube. So bam, ethos hopefully established. I do want to point out one thing, a little hole in my research process that I'm trying to fix, but will likely always be a problem, is that I sort of skip over the basics. Things like fungal structure, or phylogeny, or metabolism are things that I'll generally gloss over or only cover at a surface level because, to me, there's other more interesting things, but this leaves me open to making mistakes, including very simple ones. For instance, in the last video, I said that photosynthesis requires oxygen when it famously produces oxygen and requires carbon dioxide. That's why I appreciate you and viewers like you for pointing out these small errors, because first off, I don't want to be wrong, and second, to foster discussion and appreciation for a diverse range of mycological topics, which I probably don't know about, but you might. So this leads us into our next question. Why? It takes a lot of work to make these videos, especially for a graduate student with a job. So why am I making these videos? I have two main reasons. Reason one is that I want to share more about a topic that I find endlessly fascinating. Fungus are everywhere, in the air we breathe and the soil we walk on, but we know so little about them. I want to share my passion for these magnificent organisms with you. Maybe it's just fun for you, and that's cool. I like that, I support that, keep watching. But maybe, just maybe, I can inspire you to join a local mycology club, or try your hand at growing some oyster mushrooms, or add a little bit of fungal whimsy into your life, however you see fit. I think that's pretty neat. The second reason is a bit more personal. I spent a lot of time on YouTube growing up, and I still do. I really, really love channels that are able to talk about nature or science or really anything, and not only get you interested and to learn about the topic, but hopefully to also get you to laugh. I was an avid fan, and still am, of people like Z-Frank or Kurzgesagt or Crash Course or any number of brilliant people talking about science on YouTube. Despite this, none really scratched my fungal itch. I'm still gonna talk to my doctor about that. There's plenty of foragers and farmers and another genre of mushroom people, but none doing the science in the way that I wanted to consume it. The interesting YouTube way, which makes sense, they probably have better things to do. I wanted to make this channel for some time now, and last year I took the leap, naming it after my favorite fungus, CraterAlias, and then immediately pivoting by not talking about anything related to CraterAlias and going straight to mold. Alongside making these more broad videos about fungus, I also want to touch on specific mycology topics, how to get into science, the sorts of videos that I would have wanted to watch as a teenager, as a budding mycologist, over and over. Now I'm getting a little sappy, so I'll quickly shift to a couple of shoutouts to the people that make this channel possible. First off, you all. Subscribed or not subscribed, veteran mycologist or not, I appreciate you for taking some time out of your day to watch little old me talk about fungus. It's still mind-boggling, and I truly appreciate it. I have two artists that help out with the channel, at Barely Awake, who made these hypnotizingly beautiful thumbnails, as well as some assets you'll see in the next video, and Bebasaur for making the channel logo, and will definitely be helping on future projects, funds willing. Please check them both out, they're great. I have a few people I bounce ideas off of, and who are helping in a big project that I'll be announcing in the next video. Mycological Mira, Queer Shroomer Ari, Amy Fox, and Alex Lando. I also have an obligatory thank you to my script editor, aka partner, aka Pookie, who makes sure that these videos actually make sense to people who know nothing about fungus. Okay, I promised a big roadmap of the next few videos, so we'll get right into that. The next one is going to be about mycological education, why it's so difficult to get a formal training in mycology, and the release of that big project I mentioned. After that is Lichen Part 2, Lichens Rule, Tardigrades Drool, tentative title. This will be followed by a 1.5-parter on Spores program and mentorship in mycology, as well as a little bit about local conferences, mentorship, just finishing up the stuff that I promised the BMC I would do 6 months ago. Sorry, it took me 1.5 years, not 1 year. Knock on wood, knock on. Last but not least, enjoy some bloopers.
I look like fucking...
You are my sunshine. Spores are produced. Duh, no shit. What kind? Which, once conditions are optimal, oh my god, yeah, that sucked. Bringing of the banana to the Caribbean. Nicholas being the harbinger of the banana. Big Mike's Harbinger. Compared to 50 years ago, yeah, okay, I'm stupid.
Did you hear about the mushroom that eat the fuck? All right, go ahead. Go.
All right.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to mind your mycelium.